Fine. Let me go for record this session. I already started the recording. Okay. And so on our last session, which concept I explained you guys?
Creation of database, alter the database, and rename the database.
So we are in a database level only, right? Like creation, deletion, and altering, right? Only those things we seen it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, only database.
Okay. So have I uploaded that information? Okay, so database introduction queries. That's fine. Yes. So I uploaded the recording here itself and go and develop that thing. Okay.
Okay.
And so meanwhile, who missed that machine learning classes? If you want to follow the recording, so here we have a recordings actually. Okay. So this is the yesterday class recording, and you can open this link and you can listen the class here itself. Okay. Clear.
Okay, Anjan.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
If you have it additional time, but so if it is not possible for the live session, then you can go through this particular recording, and at the same time if I started any machine learning batch, and you can listen that particular class as well. Okay, just for sake of saving the time, that's it.
Sure, Anjan. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so Srilekha and Sreja, Rahul, I think yesterday you're not joined yesterday's, I mean you're not joined this particular machine learning class, right? So make sure that
Yesterday I joined, sir. Today morning I missed.
okay, fine. So he will join in 5 minutes. Okay. So I want to tell you one thing for who are looking for job. Okay. Especially for who looking for job and who don't have a job and they're looking for job. Might be you are from India, might be you are from USA. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I am, I'm suggesting you attend the both classes, 6:30 of AM and 6:30 of PM. So there could be two sessions. There could be two classes I started. Attend this particular modules, attend these classes, these two sessions. Don't miss it for any reasons. Clear? Especially for who looking for job and who don't have a job with your hand and who looking for job. Okay. So try to be come up with this particular modules. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah,
So I'm just giving only exception for only Chiru and Madhu, except Chiru and Madhu, who there in this particular session. You all must be attend the two sessions. Otherwise, you are lost. You might be lost. Okay, clear. So the reason is that it's a being time going to be waste. So if you have time with your hand, then utilize it. Then simple thing, right? If you don't have a time, then no one can no one can no one can stop and everything, right? But thing is that you have a time and you're especially looking for a job, and then why if you lose the time actually? So if you attend the both session, then is there any problem with you? All right. Okay, so it's a gentle reminder for everyone except Madhu and Chiru. And even Madhu and Chiru, if you have a time, so for practicing, and so just follow that recorded sessions. Okay, if you have any doubts are there, and you can message me, I can reply back you. And the meanwhile, same this time only, once I completed this all modules, then I can start machine learning. That time also you can attend the live sessions. Okay.
yeah, sure.
Sure,
Okay,
Anjan. Sure.
cool. Yep. So that's what for this particular intuition. Like, the last session, what exactly I train you or what exactly I share with you, it's a purely for a database server installation. Okay. And database management. So database server, here we are using the server is Microsoft SQL. So I'm suggesting you and I recommend you for all, so go and download the SQL Server Express. It could be available in two different versions like 2017 and 2019, 2022 also could be there. So I'm recommending to you go on installing the 2019. Okay. So Microsoft SQL Server Express. This is the server we are using for this particular module. Okay. And then we already installed that database management system. So this database management system, and we are using the Microsoft SQL Server SSMS, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. SSMS means SQL Server Management Studio. So you know that how we can install this both. Actually, this is the server in real time. It could be not available in your local machine, and only you have to install only this one. But for sake of understanding, and you're not working anywhere, so that so the server and the management studio, both it could be management system, both it could be available in the same machine. So that I'm recommending you go and download these two things and install. And if you are install these two things, then only you can able to practice. So now here my question is, how many guys are installed these two things? Chiru, have you installed this both softwares?
I have installed Anjan. I have installed and I ran that to the database.
Jen, actually, I didn't install, but I know that in the office I will work on working on it. So I know this.
Okay.
Yeah, today I will try to install this.
Make sure that practice is very, very important. Okay, so this time utilize it.
Yeah,
And
sure.
Varun, hello Varun, can you hear me?
Yes.
Varun, no, why you are not joined yesterday's class?
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. Like, I was outside, so I totally forgot.
Okay.
Once I saw your message, I totally remember that. Okay, and I from today onwards, I just set a reminder that
Okay.
15
Yeah.
minutes prior to that, I'll need to join it.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm
Thank you so
really
much.
sorry. I'm really sorry for
Yeah,
that.
no problem. It's happened. So in yesterday's session, so I already uploaded the recording into that, uploaded the
Okay.
recording, and you can
Okay.
go on to listen that class. It could be like, introduction, the life cycle of the data science project, and the life cycle
Okay.
of machine learning model. Okay. And meanwhile, so what could be machine learning algorithms are there, and so which situation we should use which machine learning algorithm, that I explain you. So just
Okay.
go and listen that particular recording. Okay, and this is the
Okay.
document. So the document also uploaded. Okay, so this is the document, and you can open this document. You can read it even if you have a time. Okay, and
Okay.
I
Sure.
uploaded the recording also. You can open this recording, and you will get some kind of injury. You will get some kind of knowledge. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Yep. So, and oh, someone joined with name of Venkat. May I know who is this Venkat?
My friend, sir.
Okay. Okay. So cool. So Ramu and your friends, and can you please share me your mail ID so that I can able to give you access for this particular recordings? And who not having access for recordings, and please share me your mail IDs. See, within this particular playlist, all the recordings of the Python is there. Okay, if you want to practice, if you want to learn self, if you want to practice Python yourself, then click on this particular module, and there, here we have here I uploaded the recordings also. Okay, and so corresponding documents also uploaded, and go on read or listen that particular recordings if you want to practice Python yourself. And but upcoming sessions I can start with you Python programming language. That's not a problem. And so SQL, currently SQL, which is going on a 6:30 p.m. of IST, and for the same time 6:30 a.m. of IST, I'm starting the machine learning. Okay, so who don't have access for this recordings and who don't have access this particular playlist, can you please share me your mail IDs? Here, Amir and Arvind, Chiru and Madhu, Ravi, Rohini, Satya, Shrey, Srija, Srijesh, Varun. So only these guys are having the recording access, and but rest of the people, you don't have an access for this recordings. And please share me your mail IDs so that I can able to give the access for this playlist. Okay. So Ramo, where is your mail ID? Rahul, can you please share me your mail ID in the Zoom chat so that I can copy and I can paste here? Who don't have access for the recordings, can you please share me your mail IDs in the Zoom chat? Varun, can you please update the same thing to Shreya as well?
Yeah, sure. Actually, he's very ill today, so he won't be able to join it. But I'll definitely apprise him.
Okay. Rahul, can you please share me your mail ID?
Sir, I have sent, sir.
Not in the WhatsApp, in the Zoom.
In chat box, I sent, sir.
Is there anyone need the recording access? Prasad? So you will get the mail actually. Okay. So from the canvas, you will get the mail from the canvas and you have to click on the get started. Once if you get the mail from the canvas, and so we have an option for get started, and click on the get started, and you will get that access and deny, and click on the access. Then it will ask you like do you have a canvas account? And so if you don't have the canvas account, you have an option for create. Click on the create and set the password, and with help of the password and with help of this mail ID, so with the same URL, you can access these recordings. So clear, right? So you can remember this link, and the username is your mail ID, and the password is what the password you set by the time of accessing of recording. With help of those things, we can access this recording. You won't get any kind of notification for uploading and everything. So yourself, you have to open that one, you have to look that one, and then you can start explore it. Clear? I need response, guys. If you sit ideally, I think so, and I cannot get interest on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Again,
So
we
the
are following
task,
again. No problem.
yes, yep. The first thing is that make sure that everyone should be install the database server that it could be the Microsoft SQL Express 2029 and Database Management Studio. And these two softwares we should install. If and only if you install, then only you can able to access. Otherwise, which is not at all possible. And it is, it's you won't get any kind of knowledge. That pretty sure. And I need somewhat, WhatsApp messages you are doing or not. That kind of information I wanted. So once if you are installing this Microsoft SQL Express 2019 and SQL Server Management Studio, if these two softwares are installed in your local machine, then the next step is that, so we would like to go for open the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. This is the software, you should open it. If you opened, then only you can connect the server. Okay. So once if you open this particular software in your local machine, here we have an option is, localhost SQL Server, or else you can use the dot also. Okay, you don't need to. You can use the dot indicating that your server, okay, your current mission. With the dot symbol also you can connect. There could be some issue. Okay. Localhost SQL Express, right? So this is the server name I created. By the time of creation, I given the server name is that one. So with help of that one only you can access. So once if you're connected to your server, then we can able to write the queries. And I just want to show you what are the databases are there here. So I have employment management DB, which is already created. So if you want to delete that one, for deleting, so which is the command to delete the database? Which command we can use it? Drop database. Already the database is existed. I want to delete that one. Okay, for that one we can use the SQL query is drop database and followed by the database name. What is the database name? I want to delete the employment management studio. Sorry, employment management DB. Okay, so see here it is available. So here employment management DB is there that I can delete with UI, or else with help of the query also you can delete it. Okay, you can select this one, and before you are deleting, make sure that which you must not be within the same database. So execute, then the command is successfully executed. Let me refresh it, or else disconnect, and again you can connect, and then you can see that is there any databases with that name. You just check it out here, and here you don't have any kind of database. This way you can delete the existing database. And now I would like to go for creating the database. Create the new database. How we can create the new database? So for that one, we have a query is create database. This is the command, and followed by the database name. For example, I want to give the same name, employment management DB. So if I run this particular command, then the command is executed. If you want to run only that specific command, you can select that line and we can run it. Okay. So that situation, it was executed, and let me refresh it. And you can see the databases, and here employment management DB, which is available at this moment. Now I would like to change the name. So which command we can use it? Rename the database. If you want to rename the database, which command you can use it? Alter database name, existing database name. Okay, modify. So if you can write the multiple lines with a single query. Okay, modify name equal to, instead of giving that this big name, I want to give the simple name, IMP employment M manage or MNG DB. Okay, this is the name I want to give to the same database. See, previously the name of the database is employment management DB. That I'm changing the name is EMPDB. EMPDB. This is the thing I want to rename it. So you just select this one and we can run it. So you can refresh it. Whether the database changed or not, we'll see now. Okay, so let me go for disconnect, and again you can connect. Let me check whether my database is changed the name or not. Yes, it's a change, right? Previously, it's like an employee management DB. Now it is EMPDB. I hope you clear with these three commands, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now I want to use my current DB, that is EMPDB. How can I use that one? So use the specific database. How we can do that? So for that one, you have a command is use and followed by the database name. Okay. So now we can, if you run this one, then it will be changed the name. Previously, here it is the master, but now it is EMPDB. That means now you are in the EMPDB. So you can write the queries and we can create the tables within that specific database. Okay. So here my task is that I'm working in one company. The name of the company is, for example, TechSkill. Okay. TechSkill is a company which is a training based company. Okay. So the TechSkill, it might have the multiple tables, right? So the TechSkill, a company, it might have, it has to manage their employees and their students and something like this. So students is one entity, students is entities here. Entities means multiple objects that we are calling it, say, entities. Okay. Or single object, we are calling it, say, single entity. Multiple objects, we are calling it, say, multiple entities. So the tech skill, they might have the students and they might have the trainers. Okay. They're dealing different services. Okay. They're dealing different kind of, courses. Okay, so these are the tables, like, I want to create the students. So how many students are currently enrolled, how many trainers are working with the tech skill, how many services or what are the services is providing, that kind of information I want to maintain in my databases. Okay, for that one, I want to create the students table, trainer table, services table, and courses table, and even management also. That also you can create it. Okay. And instead of EMPDB and organization DB or tech skill DB. Okay, I'm just modifying the name. Okay, I want to modify the name. Okay, so modify the emp db to tech skill db. Tech skill db. Okay, how can I do that? Simply you can copy and you can paste here. Okay, and then after what you can do, and you can give that current db name is db, and what is the name I want to give it for that one? Tech skill db. Okay, this is the db I want to. So I'm changing the name. So it was executed successfully, and so it automatically changed tech skill db, right? Even we can refresh it and see. Sometimes it is not which is not refreshing, but don't think about that one. Even it is not refreshing, don't worry about it. What changed? Okay, I want to change I want to use the tech skill db, so that you can use that here. Use tech skill db, then it was changed to tech skill db. Yes, now you're on the tech skill db. So within the tech skill db, I want to create the students table, I want to create the trainer tables, I want to create the services table, I want to create the courses table. Okay, so just 1 second, guys. Guys, can you please mute on the system, so that I got an urgent call, I'm talking with them. Okay, can you please wait in the session? Meanwhile, can you please mute your systems? Yeah, fine. So, guys, you are successfully created one database, and within the database, I want to creating the multiple tables. And for example, if I am taking the student table, okay, the student, it might have the student ID or not. Every student, he should have the ID, and he should have the first name and last name, right?
Yeah.
First name and last name, and so he might register for some course, right? So course interest, right? So the course name, and so the joining date of joining, okay. And this kind of information I want to maintain of from the student side, okay. In meanwhile, I want to maintain the trainer information in my database, and every trainer, he might have some kind of trainer ID, and so even the trainer name and last name and the course he can dealing, and so what is fees and everything. Even here also I can maintain the fees structure as well, okay. So that kind of information I want to maintain, that I want to maintain that particular data, okay, in my database, okay. So in future, I want to recollect, I want to do some kind of analysis. Maybe this data, it can be help me actually. Clear, right? So I would like to go for creating the okay, students table, right? When you want to create the student table, then make sure that the command is create and table, and followed by the table name. So student is my table, students entities, right? So we are not holding single student, right? You're holding multiple students, so that students is the good pronunciation, okay. Yep. So here, student ID, std underscore ID, and so it could be the integer, for example. And so I can tell you, we have some kind of constraints, and every student, he should have the some kind of ID, right? So it could not be the null, right? So that we can use the constraint is not null, okay. So you have some kind of primary key and foreign key. That thing I can explain you once constraint concepts will comes to the picture, okay. But as of now, I want to maintain the student ID, make sure that, okay. So that it could not, if you leave the student ID, then it could be getting an error, okay. That could be the constraint here, okay. So student ID, it could not be the null, it should have at least one ID. And first name, student first name, and it could be the various data types are there. What are the data types are there in SQL Server that I can show you? But at this moment, integer for holding the some kind of number, and varchar in the sense it can be holding some kind of characters, okay. So here, if I mention that 50, that means maximum it can holding only 50 characters. In the meanwhile, you can maintain the last name as well, and varchar or varchar, and I want to give that 50, maximum we can hold only 50 characters. So student ID, first name and last name. So next one is, and fee, right? So how much fee you're collecting from him? Then for example, it could be the float, it could be integer, sometimes it could be null. You don't need to maintain the fees as well, so you can simply give that not null. So here, so first name, it should be available, so that not null. And last name also, it should be available, or it must be provided by you, so that you have to mention the not null. But here you're not mention the not null. That means even if you not mention the fees, that's not an issue, okay. And the course he is interested, so that course name, the course name. So the course name, it could be like it could be data science, or it could be anything, right? So the course name, he is interested. So this way, the last thing, you don't need to give the comma, okay. So this way you created the students table. You can run this one. If it is a command is successfully executed, that means you are created the table inside of the inside of this one. Clear? See, you just observe here, dbo.student. So just now we created this one. I hope you understood, right? Now, same way, I would like to go for creating the trainer name. Trainer's table. So simply,
Anjan,
yes.
how about date of joining? What type of
Okay, so date of joining column I'm not mentioned, right? Okay, so
correct.
once if you're creating the table, you cannot create the you cannot create the same table within the same database. Okay, so that time in by implementation time. Okay, so maybe client looking for, he want to add some new column. Okay, that time you have to change the table, right? You have to alter the table. For that one we can use the alter command. Okay, that we will discuss, not in a worry. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yep. So at this moment, date of joining I'm not mentioned inside of the table. So if I creating the same table and creating, adding the new column into the existing table, so which is, it could be an error. 100% it could be an error. Okay. So to overcome that one, I don't want to modify the existing data, but I want to add some new column. For that one, how you are changing the name for the database, in the same way you can do some kind of alter commands. Okay, that I can explain you. Okay, so now creating the trainer table. So I want to create the trainers table. So how should I creating the trainer table? So simply you can copy that the student table and paste over here, and just replacing that, instead of the students, you can mention that the trainers. And so instead of the STDA ID, and you can give the trainer ID. Okay, trainer ID and first name and last name, and payment, or else fee he might be collecting, right? Okay, so as a trainer, he can take some kind of fees from us, right? So that information I have to maintain, and the course he can deal it, right? So that information also I want to maintain. Simply you can run this one. Simply you can run this one. Then command is successful, and we can refresh it. And so yeah, you can see dbo.trainers table, which is there or not. So I created the two tables here. Okay. Any question so far?
No.
All right.
Yeah, no questions.
As you said, for my student table, okay, I want to add the column. Adding the new column to existing table. So how we can do that? So alter table name is students. Okay, and add column, and column name is what?
Date of join.
Date of joining, and the data type is date.
Yes.
Is the correct command or not? Let me run it. See, alter table student, add date of joining and table. That's it. You can go to this one and show the columns here and see date of joining is created or not. Hello.
Yeah, new column got added.
Yes. I want to change the data type. So actually, it's only date, right? I want to give that like date time as well. Okay. So modify the or update the data type name. Update the okay, and update what? Update the data type. How we can update the data type of any column? How we can do that? Alter table and table name, students, and here alter column. Okay. And data joining is date time. Clear. So now we can run this one. This way we can update the data type. See? You can refresh it and go to your specific databases and go to the TextSkill and click on the tables. And so inside of the table, we have a student table, right? Click on the tables and look the columns. And see, previously it's a date, right? Now it was changed the date time. Yes or no? So that means you can create the table. And so if you miss that, add the table, and for existing table, we can add it. And by the time of adding, or else, by the time of creation of the table, you misgiven some data type. Okay. That way you can able to you can able to change that particular, column name. I mean, column data type. Clear? So,
Yes,
yes.
Sanjay.
Here I would like to give you two tasks for you. Okay. So the tasks are alter table name. Okay. And alter table name in the sense rename the table name. Rename the table. Okay. And meanwhile, we can note it, rename the column name in a table. Okay. So you have one particular table, and the table, it might have some kind of column name is there that I want to change this. And meanwhile, you have to change the table name also. Okay, you have to rename the table name. See, this way, if you do it, and this way, if you do it, then this kind of operation, this kind of language, we're calling it, say, DDL language, data definition language. DML in the sense, data manipulation language. So the SQL, we have some kind of sub languages are there. The SQL, it have the some kind of sub languages. The SQL sub-queries or sub-languages. It could be like in a DML, DDL, okay, and a TCL, okay, DTL, data transactional language, and a DML, data manipulation language, DDL, data definition language. You have this kind of operations are there. This creating the tables, creating and dropping and alter the tables and alter the tables. Okay. And this all things, it could be the part of the DDL commands. Okay. DDL commands like creating the tables, creating the databases, and deleting the tables, deleting the databases, changing the name of the databases, changing the name of the table, and changing the column names, changing the column data type. Okay. This all, it could be the part of the DDL commands. Okay. These are the data definition language. Clear? Any questions? No.
Yeah, no questions.
Yep. So that's for today's session, guys. I hope you are understood. And here I'm just giving the two things. One is the renaming the table and renaming the column name in a table. And so if you want to drop the table, then simply you can use the drop command. Drop and trainers. I would like to drop the trainers table. Okay, drop table and followed by the trainers. Okay, this way you can delete the table from the database. Okay, we can go to refresh and let me check that is the table still existing or not. Trainer table is still existing or not. Let me check. Previously, you have the trainer table is there in the below the students, but now it was not there. The reason is that you deleted. Clear?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, fine. So what you can do actually, you can try to rename the table name and you can try to rename the column name. That is your task. And meanwhile, whatever executed in my computer, try to be executed in your system as well. I hope you're clear. Take care. Bye. See you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you, bro.